In this video, I will discuss how my chosen music video uses typical conventions of the music video format to communicate meaning to the audience through mise-en-scène, sound, camera work and editing. I have chosen to analyse Red Sox Pugie by the Foals. This is by far one of my most favourite songs due to the creativity and how it creates emotion and atmosphere to the audience. Foals are a very successful band that have been around for 6 years. Their music is very alternative dance and indie, often giving subliminal messaging or used to create a preferred meaning. Stuart Hall, 1980, through the sound. Foals are aimed at a mature audience that are late teen, early adult. This is due to the content of the lyrics being quite complex. However, it is apparent amongst social websites that the Foals are appreciated by a young audience to get an emotional kick or buzz from the atmospheric sounds. This may appeal to that audience also, as they are changing hormonally and therefore the emotions that the music may create is emphasised. My first impression of the lyrics without visual, it becomes apparent that the song is about a relationship of a guy who wants to be with a girl but the girl is not so sure. First of all, the song begins with "in context", which suggests that something is wishful thinking or not achievable or realistic. The lyrics often talk about vessels which link to the heart and the brain. The line "our heart swells up, which makes us explode" could connote that he's putting too much strain or pressure on the relationship to happen, or this is what could happen if the relationship was to take place. Along with these wasp nests, these terminals once again, could connote that the wasp nests are the constant hassle metaphorically, which could be why the girl is stopping the relationship, and the terminals are the escape route that the girl is trying to take. The context in your head is like the female telling the male that it's not going to happen and that it's all in his head. This is an example of role reversal in which the female is dominating the situation instead of the male. However, the line "we could set it on fire for them" could connote that the boy, who is the speaker, is saying that we could ignite the fire of the relationship, and this is what they did in the end. However, when I watched the video, it created a totally different impression. Firstly, I am going to talk about how the artists have been represented in the music video. Foals are known for their classic indie look of skinny jeans, brightly coloured jumper or buttoned up checkered top, which is iconography of the indie rock genre and subculture, in which they are wearing within this video. This is so that their style is continuous and recognisable to their audience, and also to new audiences to remember. The band doesn't fall into any particular genre. Their music is very indie and they are marketed at just being average boys. It's reinforced by their video being shot in an urban area with no special effects or fancy lighting, and this helps to connect to their audience as it feels more personal and down to earth. The boys' relationship has been shown in a very down to earth and immature way. The bulrushes that they are playing with creates a magical effect, which is often used in videos and films to show a happy and significant moment. When the band is being introduced at the beginning of the video, close-ups are used. Close-ups are very dominant in music videos, especially of the artist or band. because it helps the audience to recognise the facial features of them. Roy Schuker, 2001, states that music videos are both an industrial, commercial product and cultural form. This is represented in this video as the beginning of the video is used to promote the band, their appearance, personality, but also representing the subculture that they are in. The direct gaze into the camera is them connecting with us.
What's left? These tunnels once again. These heart swells, these contexts in your head. Make us explode. Oh, hell no.
Next, I'm going to analyse the video as a whole sequence. Firstly, I'm going to analyse the mise-en-scène and ideas. The video and lyrics seem to focus on the significance of life in this context. They're focused on nuclear explosions, which are winded into the song's build-ups and most atmospheric parts of the music. They may have chosen to focus on nuclear bombs due to the amount of power and significance of them, which helps to add power to the music. Nuclear bombs are also a sensitive subject, therefore you are instantly engaged as you can connect to significant events in history such as Chernobyl. This brings me on to the idea of life. The beginning of the video starts with a white light. A white light can be symbolic in many ways. For example, the light of Christ, the light at the end of the tunnel, or alternatively, it could just have been used to dazzle the viewer and confuse them. This is followed by a minute or so of the band playing around in a field. This signifies that life is good, everything is okay, like an equilibrium. However, the heart diagram, followed by the explosions, is almost signifying that people are not safe in this modern day, almost referencing common knowledge of nuclear bombs. This is reinforced by this old-style film editing, but in a modern area with modern-dressed people, suggesting that nuclear explosions isn't just history, it's merged into real life. This is also reinforced by the integration of life forms within the explosion clips. For example, the dog, in which is trying to escape its lead, connoting that there is no escape from nuclear bombs. Also, the extreme close-up of the cell division at the end, suggesting that it's a part of life and that we are all under risk. Or it could be connoting these are cells that are cancerous separating, which will be inherited from the radiation. The close-up of the lizard on one of the band members' hand is also significant, as the lizard is rare and a small life form. It's also like the lizard is bringing joy to the band members, enhancing the idea of life being quite precious. On the other hand, it's also making the band look good as they are connecting with nature. The camera angles of the explosions are always long/extreme long shots. This is to show their sheer size and impact that they do. The extreme long shots often make the objects they are ripping through look very small and insignificant, for example the two-story house or bridge. These are also everyday occurrences which make us shocked to see them being ripped apart. It isn't till the end of the sequence that we have the well-known mushroom-shaped explosion, which allows the viewer to come to their own conclusion of why all these places are being destroyed. Changing the Structure, O'Sullivan 1998, to show the outcomes before what made the disaster, challenges the viewer and keeps them engaged in what's going on, as they have to create their own preferred meaning, Stuart Hall 1980. It's not until about 2 minutes in that we are shown clips of the soldiers that could be associated with war and link together some kind of meaning of what is happening. Anything that is associated with the war, such as soldiers, trucks and tents, are not shown very much. This is because the explosions are much more visually interesting to the audience. Unfortunately for the majority of us, we enjoy watching these explosions because they are so powerful and dominating. It is often more inviting to know that something is real-life footage, intertextual, and not special effects, which is more likely what this is due to the quality and size of the explosions. However, there is some use of on-screen graphic imagery cleverly used to create some form of narrative. As it goes through stages of being healthy heart at the beginning of the song to change in size, shape and pace depending on the speed of the song. The heart comes to a stop at the end, which signifies the end of a life. It's juxtaposed by a splitting cell, which could conclude that this is part of life and we have to deal with it. On the other hand, it could connote families, newborns or pregnant women that lose their life, which touches the heart of people. Following this idea of death, the release of hundreds of balloons is significant, as it is a common event used as the remembrance of lives lost or a memory. At the end of the video, a large red balloon is let off into the air by some sort of soldier. This is also significant as the red could represent the blood of the lives lost, and the idea of the balloon rising up to the sky is like somebody going into heaven. Last but not least, I am finally going to talk about the editing techniques within the video. The video has been edited to make it look old style. For example, the sepia colouring on the band at the beginning of the video. This is to fit with the rules of continuity and so that the intertextual clips merge into the modern day film clips. But also the effect fits into the idea of the theme being very historical, as there are many significant nuclear bomb disasters. Between the clips there are always cuts. This may be because the song is fast, upbeat and emotion thrilling. Therefore they don't want to waste time on fades or other techniques, as it slows down the video and makes it more relaxing to the audience, which is not the intended meaning, as it is a shock video. The cuts are often with the music so that we can match the visual and audio together and are more engaged. Last but not least, I am finally going to talk about the editing techniques within the video. The video has been edited to make it look old style. For example, the sepia colouring on the band at the beginning of the video. This is to fit with the rules of continuity and so that the intertextual clips merge into the modern day film clips. But also the effect fits into the idea of the theme being very historical, as there are many significant nuclear bomb disasters. Between the clips there are always cuts. This may be because the song is fast-paced, upbeat and emotion-thrilling, therefore they don't want to waste time on fades or other techniques that slow the video down. The cuts are often with the music so that we can match visual and audio together and therefore more engaging.